Hello, it's Mike back again with tip number 39 from our top 100 tips, tools, and life lessons from the Insight One Awakening Heart Seminar. In our last tip, we were noticing and exploring what happens when we move down into the emotions in kind of more of a negative way and get emotionally flooded and experiencing what we call not willing to know. And we wanted to look at a couple of the tips for how do we move back into our heart when we're down in the kind of lost in our emotions. We already mentioned one of those is kind of reference choice. The other one is a word that's oftentimes misunderstood, which is the term surrender. Surrender as a tool. Now, earlier on, I made the distinction about giving up. Surrendering is a different kind of giving up, where it's not a quitting, but it's a letting go of control. It's a letting go in a way that acknowledges that sometimes when I'm attempting to navigate from a place where I'm trying to control everything in my life, sometimes I'm less effective. And so surrender is kind of a giving up in the sense of kind of giving up. We will speak a little bit later about the aspects of the three selves, the high self, the conscious self, and the basic self. The surrender here is kind of giving up to our higher self, or to kind of a higher sense of self in terms of some level of guidance and support that can assist us in terms of navigating some of the times when we get lost emotionally. I think a lot of you know what I'm speaking about, but one of the things I think is important about surrender is how do you let go of control and not go into resignation? I know that sometimes I'm challenged in terms of I have areas in my life, sometimes areas where I can get kind of emotionally flooded, experience self-doubt, maybe go into a place where I'm experiencing some guilt or overwhelm. And recognizing that I have the ability to surrender and let go and kind of allow for a greater or higher guidance, but also watching the part of me that wants to resign and step back. And so there's kind of a tension here and an opportunity of how do you surrender but also hold responsibility so that you can go ahead and be guided to take effective actions to move back into your heart. So something to explore and notice. Again, some of you are quite familiar with this in terms of kind of letting go and letting God, or whatever you want to kind of reference it as. Some of the rest of us, it might be a newer approach to, or actually when to work it and how to work it is something that's a bit of a practice. And quite honestly, all these tips and tools are a practice, something that we kind of have to work, practice, notice when they work, when they don't work, and use them in a way that we can begin to develop this kind of tool chest of things that help our life to be more effective. So begin to notice where in your life you're maybe holding on to control too tightly, and might be a time to surrender, let go, and allow yourself to kind of be taken down the river instead of trying to swim up the river.